Hi there everyone, hope you're enjoying life in Kathmandu and hope you're enjoying the regional staff with the country directors at your RLT. Cherian asked me to give you a quick update on the 2020 situation, which is changing minute by minute at the moment, so it's a bit difficult to give you an update. What I can tell you is that we're on track for the EDs meeting in Boston at the end of the month to actually make some decisions. There are various smaller ED groups happening between now and then. Mark at the moment is in the European EDs group, for example, talking about 2020 and making sure that people are aligned with the ideas and proposals that we've been making. So on global balance, you will know that we have redefined what it means to be an affiliate so that you don't have to do absolutely everything. It opens up the possibilities for others. We have agreed the criteria on which we will invite 6 others. That's assuming that the 2 that we have currently on track make up the 8. So that's Brazil and South Africa, and then there's a short list for the other 6. The Secretariat will become more of a virtual Secretariat, but its hub will move somewhere in the south. Nairobi, Istanbul and Bangkok are the current suggestions, possibilities, with Nairobi coming out fairly near the top of that list. And then we're all encouraged to find different ways to bring in Southern Voice into the way we work through our affiliate boards, into the campaigns, decision making, all kinds of different ideas on increasing Southern Voice. So that's workstream 1. Workstream 2 is the different models, and there are 2 models on the table, and as of last week there's a new 3rd model on the table. So the 2 models are the LAPA model, which a lot of country directors see as a transitionary arrangement, but at least shifts up the complexity up to regional level. And it, like all the models, all 3 demand that there is country directors in charge of their people and their resources. We have some kind of pooled or some kind of collective resource decision-making fora, both for unrestricted and for restricted. A single program funding unit, for example, as one mechanism of enabling that. And that we have some kind of shared services and systems, starting with MIS, starting with Management Information Systems, and then working down the list of IT, HR as we go. So those are, if you like, the bottom lines across all the models. There is then the lead affiliate, partner affiliate model. There is also the network model, as it's now become, where you have skinny line management under one Oxfam, and that you invest in resource and knowledge hubs as part of a knowledge flow, and you treat knowledge in the same way as you treat money and people as a resource that flows around the Confederation. And then there is, as I said, this 3rd model that has come in as a result really of Farah spending time in programme over the last 2 weeks. She phoned up Mark, and they between them have discussed and agreed to put forward an idea that is really led by the global balance idea and looks very similar to perhaps ActionAid's model, now called the all affiliate model. And this model, as I say, came out of discussions between Mark and Farah at the beginning of last week. The end of last week, Thursday and Friday, the 2020 working group were working up ideas as to how to make that a reality and what the transition plan would look like for this longer term plan. So I think the advantage of that is that there would be a very clear end state that would empower us all in terms of knowing where we're headed. The disadvantage obviously is it would take a long time to get there. ActionAid have been going at this for 15 years, and I think they think they're about halfway through. And we'd have to get expectations right in terms of there would be some countries that really would not become any kind of Oxfam affiliate for the foreseeable future, and that's quite a significant number, 2025 perhaps. There would then be a lot of countries in which we wanted to make sure they knew when they would go. Would they be in the first tranche of 8? We're still, even in that model, sticking to the fact that we would have 8 new affiliates by 2020. It would be unrealistic given the financial challenges that gives, and also just the sheer pace of change that would require to think it would be any more. But then obviously between 2020 and 2030, there would potentially be a lot more becoming live in terms of affiliates. We've also made the proposal that this should primarily try to focus on finding local organisations that are interested in becoming Oxfams, so not necessarily converting country programmes into affiliates. And it's interesting for me, having been involved in the models, you can imagine if you spend a good few months working at these two models and then you kind of get a late googly, as it might be called, towards the end. In fact, I think even with a network model, we'd realised that what we'd done is flattened the difference between what it means to be a country programme and an affiliate to an extent where we were asking those sorts of questions anyway. So we've rushed together some proposals, but that rush has been very ably supported by the fact that we've done an awful lot of learning from ActionAid and others that we could readily pull on for those discussions at the end of last week. So that proposal has gone to as a contribution to the big thick document that all the EDs will get as a bunch of papers representing all of the thinking of the working group, and they should get that either today or tomorrow is the idea. You might have seen that by the time you see this video. If not, it will be imminent. The third group was looking at how we improve our humanitarian capacity, our humanitarian response capacity in terms of surge capacity. They've come up with two proposals, both of which identify the need for a SHU, a single humanitarian unit. One proposal is that it could be made up of existing affiliate staff, and the other is that we have a separate unit, depending on which type of model we want to go for. Campaigns have come up with some proposals to improve global campaigning. I don't think they are model dependent at all, but they drive the need for more southern voice in the campaigning decisions that we take. And then on shared services, I think I've already gone over the outline of that. There is talk of, do we need one ERP? Should we go straight to cloud systems? There's all kinds of discussions going on. But how much, the red line is on shared services, how much we harmonise systems is really where that debate needs to go, and it depends how much money EDs want to spend and how quickly they want to move to that harmonised system, essentially, or those harmonised systems. There's then a group working on the knowledge side. At one extreme, in the network model, we have knowledge hubs and knowledge resource centres, etc. At the other, there is at least shared programme support advisory services that is, if you like, the bottom line on that. And there is a very interesting audacious goal on the knowledge side that describes Oxfam by 2020 as being a knowledge-driven organisation, which would require significant investment in the network model idea. And then the last piece is around a One Oxfam culture. There's been quite a bit of work done on what we need to do to develop the trust between us and the ways of working, not just the structural side. So all of those proposals are going into this chunky document that will be ready for the EDs later on this week. And then the process between now and then is that we will be talking an awful lot to EDs, finding out where they have issues and problems. I think we still haven't really resolved what any of these models look like from an existing affiliate perspective. We still haven't somehow answered people's questions from that. So if you have any ideas on how to help with that, then please do. But I do hope that's a contribution to your RLT meeting. And just to finish with a word on what's happening in Oxfam GB, you will have noticed that we've communicated on the 3 I's recently: influencing, internationalising, and income, increasing income. And we've done that in very direct response to Oxfam House staff here in Oxford wanting to have clarity around the business as usual agenda, the OGB change agenda and the Oxfam 2020 change agenda, and needing to know that once we've taken out the over 100 posts now that we've taken out of Oxfam House, what's on the other side, what's the plan going forward. So we've gone live with that, but it really doesn't alter the fact that for international staff, the 2020 agenda and waiting for those decisions remains critical. You will want my colleagues here to be raising as much income as possible, as much as I do, I know. And also then on the influencing side, there's an awful lot we can do in terms of our programme design And in Asia, you've done a lot of thinking about that in both middle income and fragile conflict affected states and in poorer states, to really increase, to ramp up the way we leverage from what we do, the way we measure our leverage, not just our income, not just the size of our programme in terms of income, and the way that we can increase our advocacy and our linkage up to national, regional and global level. And that continues. We're 45% of the Confederation spend and 60% of the Confederation staff. So we need to continue developing on those agendas to continue to deliver, whilst we are also discussing all these big ideas around change. So good luck in your RLT, and I hope the update, whilst it might be a bit surprising, is also useful.